Good afternoon. I welcome you to today's class. In our previous class, we discussed on anatomy and physiology of farm animals. Anatomy is the structure of the body of farm animals, while physiology is the function of the parts and forms of the body of the farm animals. We described the 5 main systems of farm animals: the respiratory system, the digestive system, the circulatory system, the reproductive system, and the nervous system. We also laid emphasis on the functions of these systems to the body of farm animals. Now, today, we will be discussing on reproduction in farm animals. Reproduction in farm animals. Before we go to the details of the lesson, let's see the learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to, number 1, define reproduction in farm animals. Number 2, state the categories of farm animals. Number 3, list and explain the terminologies in animal reproduction. Now, let's define reproduction. Reproduction is the ability in animals to give birth to young ones. Reproduction is the process by which farm animals give birth to their young ones. To ensure continuity of life, reproduction must come into place. To avoid the extinction of animals in the environment, reproduction must come into place. Now, let's move to the categories of farm animals. We have 2 main categories of farm animals: viviparous farm animals and oviparous farm animals. The viviparous farm animals, they are farm animals that reproduce sexually and they give birth to their young ones alive. Viviparous farm animals, they are animals that reproduce sexually and give birth to their young ones alive. They are mainly mammals. They give birth to their young ones alive. Then we have oviparous, the other category. They are farm animals that produce their young ones by hatching after the incubation period. They are mainly the poultry birds. They hatch eggs, they lay eggs, and they hatch the eggs after the incubation period. I believe you are following me. Fine, let's discuss terminologies in animal reproduction. There are some terms associated with reproduction in animals. We have them here, and there are 7 in number. Oestrus cycle is the first one, followed by its period, mating, gestation period, pasturation, lactation, and colostrum. Now, let's discuss these terminologies one by one. The first term is the oestrus cycle. This is the interval from the end of one its period to the beginning of another. Oestrus cycle in farm animals is just like the menstrual cycle in female human being. Oestrus cycle is the interval from the end of one its period, end of one ovulation period to the beginning of another period. And it is normally controlled by the hormone estrogen. It's hormone estrogen that controls the oestrus cycle. Oestrus cycle varies from animals to animals. Example, in cow, oestrus cycle takes 20 to 21 days. And in doe, a doe is a female goat, oestrus cycle takes 17 to 21 days. Let's move to the next term, the heat period. The heat period is also the ovulation period. And this is the time when the female animal shows signs of its readiness to mate, to copulate. It shows signs of its readiness to mate the male. It is the period when ovulation takes place. That is when there is release of the ova by the ovary. And this heat period also varies from animal to animal. For example, in cow, the heat period takes between 5 to 24 hours. And in a doe, It takes between 40 to 50 hours. Now, let's see the signs of heat period in farm animals. I, as a farmer, how will I know that my female farm animal is on heat? There are some signs that the farm animal will show. Now, the first sign is frequent urination. This is the female farm animal will tend to urinate often. Number two, frequent tail shaking, as in goats. The female farm animal, such as in goats, shake the tail frequently. Then number three, the vulva becomes large, red and swollen. The vulva, a part of the external reproductive organ of the female farm animal, becomes red, large to expand, and swollen to swell up during its period. Number four, there is undue noise making or grunting. The female farm animal tends to make noise and grunt during the heat period. There is loss of appetite. They will be unable to feed well. There is loss of appetite during heat period. And finally, the animal has abnormal high body temperature. That is, the basal body temperature of the animal will be abnormal. There will be increase in the body temperature. I believe you understand this. Let's move on to the third term. The third term is mating. Mating can is also called copulating. It is the act in which the penis of the male is inserted into the vagina of the female, leading to ejaculation of spermatozoa. When the penis of the male farm animal is introduced or inserted into the vagina of the female farm animal, there will be release of the sperm cell. Here we have two types of mating: the natural mating and the artificial mating. Now let's discuss the natural mating. Natural mating occurs when a male, after identifying a female on it, the male will mount on the female for mating. This is for copulating. The male must have identified the female farm animal on it. Then the male will now mount on the female for mating. We have three main examples of natural mating. We have the flock mating, the pen mating, and the stud or hand mating. Now, let's discuss the flock mating. From the word flock, to move together. Here, the male and the female farm animals will be allowed to move freely, to move together, and to mate freely. They'll be allowed to move freely, to mate together freely. In pen mating, the word pen is the house of livestock. Livestock such as the cattle, goats, pig. The pen is where they are being kept. That is their house. So, pen mating, here, a good number of male farm animals will be kept together with large number of female farm animals, yes, and they are allowed to mate together. A large number of male animals will be kept together with limited number of female farm animals, and they will be allowed to mate together. The last one is stud or hand mating. Stud or hand mating. Here, a male will be introduced to the female animal on it, and they'll be allowed to mate. And after mating, the male will be withdrawn. The male will be taken away from the female farm animal. So these are the three examples of natural mating. Now let's see the artificial mating. Artificial mating is also called artificial insemination. And here, the spermatozoa from the male will be collected, and the spermatozoa will be injected into the vagina of the female animal on it. The spermatozoa, that is the sperm cell from the male farm animal, will be injected artificially into the vagina of the female animal on it, and it is called artificial insemination. The spermatozoa are collected and they are stored. They are stored inside what we call sperm bank at 196 degrees under liquid nitrogen. Now, the liquid nitrogen is to ensure that the sperm stays alive, and also to ensure motility of the sperm, that is the movement of the sperm. Fine. Now, let's see the advantages of artificial insemination. Number one, it reduces the cost of feeding and managing male animal. It is economical. It's only the sperm of the male farm animal that the farmer needs. So there's no need of feeding and managing the male animal after the sperm has been collected. So it's only the sperm that the farm animal needs. So it is economical. Number two, it is cheaper to import sperm than the male animal. It is cheaper to import the sperm, to move the sperm from where it is collected to where it will be used, than to import the whole animal. Number three, sperm collected can be used to fertilize many animals. A farmer can collect sperm from a single male farm animal and use it to fertilize many female farm animals. Number three, the sperm can be used over a long time, can be used over a long period of time, even after the death of the male animal, because the sperm will be stored. So the sperm can be used over a long period of time, even after the male animal might have died. Now let's see the disadvantages. The advantages of artificial insemination. Artificial insemination requires a skilled hand to carry it out successfully. It requires a learned person, a veterinary doctor. Just anyhow farmer cannot carry out artificial insemination. Number two, to preserve the sperm requires additional capital cost. So, and a small-scale farmer might not be able to afford the cost of preserving the sperm. Number three, poor handling of artificial insemination might lead to injuries to the farm animals. In performing artificial insemination on the female farm animals, if it is handled poorly, it can cause the female animal injuries. And also the process, there might be the spread of other diseases too. I believe you're following me. Now, let's see the fourth term, gestation period. Gestation period. This is the period between fertilization of an ovum, an egg, to the birth of the young ones. It is also called the pregnancy period. Gestation period is the pregnancy period, and it is controlled by the hormone progesterone. Hormone progesterone controlled gestation period controls the pregnancy period in farm animals. Examples: in cow, the gestation period of cow is 283 days. For rabbit is 31 days, and for a doe, a female goat, is 114 days. Now, let's move to the next term. Pasturition. It is the act of giving birth in farm animals. Just as delivery is the act of giving birth in human being, pasteurization is the act of giving birth in farm animals. When the farm animals give birth, that is the end of pregnancy and the beginning of lactation, which is breastfeeding. Now, let's see the next, lactation. Lactation. This is the period during which the female animal releases milk from its udder. Breast is called udder in farm animal. So this is the period during which the female animal releases milk from its udder immediately after pasteurization and thereafter. So it is milk that the young farm animal will feed on. It is controlled by two hormones, estrogen and oxytocin. Now let's see the next term, colostrum. Colostrum is the first milk produced immediately after pasteurization or delivery of the newborn animal. The first milk within the first 5 days, that is the colostrum, and it is yellowish white in color. Now let's see the importance of colostrum. Number one, colostrum contains antibodies that will fight against diseases that the mother might have been exposed to. Now, during pregnancy, the mother might have been exposed to diseases. So this disease will help to fight, this colostrum rather would fight the disease because they contain antibodies to fight the disease in the young animal. Number two, it enables the newborn to get immunity against disease. So colostrum is important to fight against disease. It builds up the immunity of the young animal. Number three, the colostrum is rich in protein, especially albumin and globulins. And number 4, colostrum also contains vitamin A, vitamin B, and vitamin A, vitamin E, and riboflavin. Riboflavin is vitamin B2. So these are the importance of the colostrum, which is good for the young animals, the young ones. Now, I believe you've been able to understand the lesson. For a quick recap, we've discussed on reproduction in farm animals, and we said reproduction is the ability of farm animals to produce the young ones. We discussed categories of farm animals: viviparous, which are the mammals, animals that produce their young ones alive, and the oviparous, the poultry birds, animals that lay eggs and hatch their eggs after the incubation period. We also discussed the term in reproduction of farm animals: the ostrich cycle, the interval between the end of one heat period to the beginning of another heat period. We discussed the heat period, and the signs of heat period. That is, heat period is when the female animal show the sign and its readiness to copulate, to mate. The signs of heat periods: frequent urination, frequent shaking of tails, the vulva will be enlarged and red, among others. Mating, the type of mating, also the natural mating and the artificial mating. Discuss on gestation period, that is the period between fertilization and birth. Pasturation, the act of giving birth. The other term is lactation. Lactation, that's the period of releasing milk. And then we discussed colostrum, which is the first milk produced after birth, and also the importance of the colostrum. Discuss it contains antibodies that fight against diseases, give the newborn immunity, rich in protein, and also contain vitamin A, E, and riboflavin. With this, we've come to the end of the class. Please, you can read more on this topic from the uploaded notes on the school website and the recommended textbook Essential Agricultural Science for Senior Secondary School by Iwo Rumena and Exam Focus Agricultural Science by A.M. Daramola Ito. Thank you and God bless you. Please ensure that you do your assignments and you copy up your notes. Thank you. Continue to stay safe. See you in the next class. Bye.